There's some strange things happening between Kody and Christine right now.
I'm just supposed to stay out of it. I feel like to Kody, Robyn's more important.
It's been heartbreaking being your wife for years.
I agreed to be a sister wife, but I agreed to be an equal wife.
I'm so dysfunctional now. You never tried to have a really good relationship with these other people. Sacrifices that I made to love you!
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, August 8th. All right, you guys, the brand new trailer is out for season 17 of Sister Wives, and I could do like an entire video just on one of it, and I do. I want to talk about just one part of the situation that happened here. And I'm going to do another video on another part because I feel like there's two separate issues happening here. Kody Brown ends up leaving Kody. I told you that season 17, episode 1, episode description came out, and it said that Christine and Kody were going to have a tense disagreement or argument or discussion after Robyn is confided in by Kody about his difficulties in his marriage with Christine, and that Christine and Kody sit down and it's a tense conversation that leaves Kody feeling defeated and Christine feeling empowered. Okay, so we get a kind of a sneak peek because Robyn, in the very beginning of this news trailer, says that there's some issues happening. Things are really weird between Kody and Christine at this time. Okay, so Robyn insists that she needs to stay out of the relationship between Christine and Kody. And when it spans over to Christine, she says that she feels like Kody has made Robyn more important than anyone else in the family for years, and that she was feeling exhausted by this.
There's some strange things happening between Kody and Christine right now.
I'm just supposed to stay out of it. I feel like to Kody, Robyn's more important.
It's been heartbreaking being your wife for years.
I feel like it's more...
So she said, it's heartbreaking for me to be your wife for years. So Christine then, you know, the family is kind of coming to grips with this idea of her potentially leaving Kody, right? Mary makes a comment about how she saw Christine more as a friend than a sister wife. And Janelle discusses, you know, the inevitability of Christine actually leaving Kody. And we get to sort of like, there's some stuff that happens in between that I will talk about in the next video. But at the very end of this clip, it's actually super concerning, and I got a lot of feedback when I shared this on my social media because Kody's behavior was so awful that people are really concerned about the message that this is sending to the wider audience, not only about polygamy, but also about DV, because what he does is out of control. The very end of the 2-minute teaser, they all appear to be sitting outside of Christine's home when she lived in Flagstaff and sitting in chairs, clearly discussing what's happening in their relationship. And Kody literally loses it on Christine and yells and screams.
You never tried to have a really good relationship with these other people. And that's the reason I'm pissed off. Man, just the knife in the kidneys over all these years. Sacrifices that I made to love you.
So he blames Christine for never trying to have a good relationship with these people, which anyone that watches this show knows is 100% false. Christine, for the better part of their marriage, was the primary wife that not only took care of their kids, did the homeschooling, and also was the caregiver of the children, has had a close relationship with Janelle, has been a mediator and the in-between in all of the disagreements in the family, and has raised the kids. So this idea that she has no relationship with this family is false. I believe he's talking about Robyn, because the only person that has a tense relationship with Robyn is literally everyone. And Robyn and Christine did attempt to have a relationship, but over time it was more and more apparent to Christine and everyone else that Kody was favoring Robyn. Then he says that it's a knife in the kidneys over all of the years that he has loved her.
Man, just the knife in the kidneys over all these years.
And is screaming at her in front of the sister wives. And she is saying nothing. She's not even responding, and she is just listening to him yell, and he screams, and he's being very vocal. He is literally standing up. His posture is extremely aggressive. None of the women are saying anything about this. He's literally demonstrating that he is being verbally ABUSIVE. He's gaslighting her and saying that you've never done anything for this family. You don't get along with this family. When the truth is Christine had done everything for this family. And when she stopped doing what Kody wanted, this is how he responded. Then he says, the sacrifices that I made to love you. And again, no one says a word. Janelle is sitting there with her head like this. Robyn's just sitting there saying nothing. And it's almost like these outbursts and this verbal ABUSE is so normal to these women that it's just par for the course. And I just want to say something very clear. It is not normal for your partner to gaslight you. It is not normal for your partner to scream and yell at you. It is not normal for your partner to make you feel guilty for wanting to leave. It is also not normal for someone to say, I sacrificed all of this to love you. If you have to sacrifice things to love someone, that's not love. Love is selfless. Love is not about being selfish. Love is not about being controlled. It's not about being told to be obedient and submissive. And it's certainly not, love is not being told that you need to just suck it up and deal with it so we can get to heaven, because that's what this is all about. It's manipulation, and it's a design, what I believe, by Kody to make her feel guilty so that she won't leave and paint her as the bad guy, because Kody can't handle being the bad guy and doesn't want to take responsibility. All Christine wanted is a voice, and all Christine did was stand up for herself. Christine and all of the wives, regardless of who they are, have been mistreated by Kody, including Robyn. Kody, whether he's with Robyn or not with Robyn, he doesn't treat any of them nicely. He wants them all to be submissive to him, obedient, and obey what he says, and he only likes the women that will kiss his butt and lift up his ego. This isn't a healthy dynamic. It's not a healthy family. And it's a true testament to the case that Christine left a narcissistic ABUSER, in my opinion. Took to my Instagram and to my Facebook to share my thoughts on Christine leaving. One person said this: if you've never had a true narcissist in your life, you won't understand all of the ABUSE that other people go through. People that don't understand a narcissist's frame of mind and their game will never understand until they come across a true narcissist. Leaving a narcissist is such a huge accomplishment. Someone said this: I just saw the trailer for the next episode and whatever, and I'm thinking Kody is trying to run these women off. He's doing everything he can to try to run these women all. That's my opinion. This person actually had something to say to Christine. Christine, I'm glad you got away and you are now on your healing journey. It takes time, and it's a whole process that even 8 years after my marriage, I'm still not back to my normal self I was before I met my narcissistic, controlling, bipolar ex-husband. You are in my prayers, and I'm wishing you all the best. Someone else said this: the sacrifices he made to love Christine, I hope Kody listens to that over and over and realizes how abusive that is. As if Christine would be hard to love or not worthy of love. What a jack-a. I hope he never finds another woman to ABUSE. Someone else said this: she is finally able to shine instead of being stifled constantly. I think all the wives should build on Coyote Pass and leave Kody by himself. Then the kids can get and be together, and the thing that constantly causes them to drift apart is out of the picture. Someone said, that TLC clip is extremely disturbing, and I hope Janelle is truly on the way out and not just stepping back. Not sure what it'll take for Mary to leave. So sad. And another person said, I wouldn't swear by it, but I'm sure he screamed like he did on that video clip before. I do wonder if he is ever more than screaming, which is scary and traumatizing enough. It's not a sacrifice for someone to love you. It's not a sacrifice for you to be in a relationship for someone else. Love is not sacrifice. Love is selfless. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not easy, but it also isn't what Kody did to Christine. And the fact that there's other women that are sitting there acting like they have to stay in that situation is concerning. I don't think some of these women have any idea what they're involved in or what they've been involved in for years. I don't think they even understand the power and cycle that happens in DV. And I hope that with Christine leaving and some of her sister wives seeing her life outside of this can be awoken to what happens and what can happen when you leave someone like Kody. Kody gets a lot of hate online, and I believe it's completely and totally justified. And I don't know how this show will continue the way it is, because everyone keeps saying it needs to end, it needs to end. I don't know that it'll end because Kody will stay on air as long as he can. But I do think that it's important that we have these conversations about how TLC is normalizing DV and these outbursts and acting like it's just a normal thing. It's not. And I highly doubt in any of these episodes they will ever talk or address DV or ABUSC of any kind. I highly doubt they will ever offer resources like the hotline for women to call that want to leave situations like this. So at the end of this video, I will say, if you are considering leaving or need help identifying if you need to leave, go to thehotline.org. It's available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and offers you resources and ways to leave DV. All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.